Hello guys, my name's Brad Leeper. I work with Generis and have the privilege of coaching church planters in how to raise funds for their church plant. First, thank you for what you're doing. You guys are my heroes. To have the courage, to have the vision, to have the faith to plant a church, way to go. You're in for the ride of your life. Part of what we'll cover today in the Launch Leadership Competency is how to raise and manage money. What we'll cover today is very mission critical for what you're about, because your success or failure as a church planter hinges on many things. But my experience in coaching church planters, several hundreds of church planters, is that their financial stability, the financial resources, what money they have that you would have as a church planter to engage in your mission makes a huge difference, if not the top difference, to the degree that you're successful, to the degree of the quality of your plant, the degree of your environments, even to the degree of your own spiritual health and condition. If you have resources in your church plant, you're going to have a better experience, you have better environments, and you will be far more successful in doing what it is you're about to do. Let's tackle a key concept that we don't hear about very much in church circles, and that is, how is money raised? How does money come into a church situation? Whether you're a church plant raising money or you're an established church, money is going to come in a way that we're about to discover together over the next few minutes. Let's take a look at how that works. Two triangles here will visually give us the idea of how money is raised. This triangle represents the number of people who invest in any given ministry. And as a church planter, you'll be inviting people to invest in your ministry, whether that be external funds or whether that be through your core team during your launch. Number of people who give. The percentage of the dollars that come in from that group of people. It's broken down into three tribes. Here are those tribes. You have a very small group of people who give a disproportionate amount of the total that you need. You have another group or tribe of people, a little larger in number. They still give a substantial part of what you need to do your church plant. And then you have the masses here, another group, that give a very small percentage of what you need. We're going to explore why this is the way it is and how you take advantage of this as you go raise funds for your church plant. As you understand this principle, it will make it easier and make it far more effective as you raise your funds. Let's take a look at the tribes here. This first group we'll call a higher capacity group. These are individuals or couples that have an unusual capacity to give. Why is this in the church? Why do some people have greater capacity to give than others? Don't have the foggiest idea. But it works this way. It's like, for me, if a worship pastor were to ask me to join that ministry, bad call. I got nothing when it comes to music. Can't sing, can't hold a rhythm, don't understand how to play instruments. I would be the last guy on the planet that you would want in your music ministry. There are people that are gifted with 10 talents, others with 5, others with 1. That's the way God has wired His creation. That's the way God has wired the church. Same way with giving and the gift of giving and the capacity to give. Some people have far more to give than others, and that is the top tribe here. Smaller number of people, but they will give a disproportionate amount of the total. Same way when you are after the church plant into your post-launch phase and you'll begin to look at giving patterns within your church, you'll see very quickly that there would be a small number of people that would give disproportionately more than anybody else. This is the way it works. So we have the high capacity group here that will give a significant amount of your total. You have here your launch team or very interested people. Larger in number, but they're going to give less of what you need. These are folks that have high maturity in Christ, or they're part of your launch team. You have enlisted them, you have invited them into the journey, and they're investing in this church plant along with you. The third group is everybody else. Friends, family, interested people that are a little more distant from you. But here's everybody else. Large scale numbers, but gives proportionally a very small percentage. So if you want to raise $250,000 for your church plant, you're probably going to see $150,000 come from this group. You're probably going to see $75,000 to $100,000 come from this group, and you'll probably see somewhere less than $25,000 come from this group. Now here's the challenge. In typical church plant materials or how to raise money, the basic drill is send out letters, let people know, do a Facebook strategy, a social media strategy. Here's what we're doing, here's a letter, here's a link to our website. Please give, send your checks in here. And because you have such high passion and belief in what you're doing, and it's so obvious that your church plant is mission critical in one of the best places on the planet, you think that money is going to pour in just because you've sent out some letters and have talked in a passionate way to a handful of people. And you will get money. You will send out letters. Generally, you're going to get these folks to give. They'll give $25, they'll give $100, maybe even $1,000, but not enough money to get you into the momentum place that you need to have with the $250,000 or whatever it is that your budget calls for. You'll have some money that comes in very quickly, you'll get excited, and then pretty soon you go to the mail or you look on your website and the money begins to trickle off and you become very discouraged because you've picked the easy fruit and now you don't know where to go. What we'll walk through over the next few minutes is how do you engage each of these tribes. Ready? Let's tackle it. For this group, the higher capacity people, these are couples or individuals that can give significantly to your ministry. There are plenty of folks out there that want to do this. They will respond to vision. They will respond to the strategic nature of where your plant is. They'll love to invest. It's a very competitive mindset, a very competitive group of people, and they are going to look for the most strategic opportunities. This group doesn't respond at all to a letter. They may know you and they may send you $100, but this is not how you engage this group. With this group, you're looking at one-on-one conversations. You're looking at sitting down and helping them to explain your ministry plan, your business plan. They want to know, why is it that you need me? What is it about your mission? What is it about your calling, your church plant that is so mission critical that I want to invest? I want to give significantly to you. This is developing a relationship with this group. It takes time, it takes work, it takes energy to build that relationship, but once they're bought in, they will buy in significantly and over the period of time that you need them to buy into. It will take hours upon hours to do that, but you get sustained giving, you get passionate giving, you get loyal giving over the life of your church plant. So this is the first group, the high capacity givers. You can identify them in several different ways that we can get into a little bit later, but you probably can already pop into your head names of people that you know that probably fit that profile. It's not uncommon at all to get checks of $5,000, $7,000, $10,000 if you work and are strategic and are gracious and build a relationship within this community. Let's look at the second tribe, your launch team or highly interested people. These are folks that indeed have a deeper maturity in Christ. They have an inclination to church planting. They may be even on your launch team. I would highly recommend, as you bring somebody onto your launch team, that you make giving and investment financially into your launch non-negotiable. There's no reason on the planet that you would invite somebody to be on your launch team if they're not willing to give financially to the church plant. It makes no sense whatsoever. You can't trust them. Their heart's not there. As Jesus said, where your treasure is, there your heart will be. So inviting your launch team to give of their treasure into this makes all the sense in the world. You get their heart, you get their passion, they'll have a deeper expression of being all in because their money has gone there first. This group responds well in a one-on-one context. They also respond well in small groups. But if you're building a relationship with them in your launch, then that becomes part of the challenge. If you want to be part of my beachfront community church here, if you want to be part of the launch team, I'm inviting you to give financially, sacrificially to that plant as part of your commitment to be part of the launch team. Larger number of people in this pool, a larger number of dollars that will still be invested. The next tribe, or the last, is everybody else, all your friends and family. Now here's the deal. They're probably going to invest in your ministry no matter what you do. You could probably go plant a church, you could go on the mission field, you could do any number of things, and they're still going to invest because they're relationally dialed into you. They know you, they love you, they have trust in you. They're going to give because of the relationship. They're probably not going to give because they're sold out to your mission of church planting. These folks are going to be more inclined to give because of a relationship with you and because of the mission critical nature of what you're doing. These folks will just give no matter what you're going to do. They'll give, but not a whole lot. So with this group, it's social media, it's parties, it's getting together with them over coffee, it's any number of ways that you can engage with them. They're still going to give, they're just not going to give a whole lot. Now, if you had 5 hours to invest in a week in raising money for your church, which of these tribes do you want to spend those 5 hours with? I'll pause here and let you figure that out. If you have any active brain cells, you're going to say, I'm going to work here with this group because my 5 hours may yield $5,000 or $10,000 here. My 5 hours may yield $500 here. You're smart people as church planters. Well, that could be debatable if you're smart in church planting, but let's assume that you're bright folks. You want to invest at your greatest effectiveness and the greatest efficiency. So you want to spend your time here with these higher capacity folks. Now, let's challenge what could sometimes be a pushback to this, and that's a mandate out of James 2 that talks about don't show favoritism to folks that have money. It has nothing to do with the context here. We're not showing them favoritism, we're actually raising the bar for them. This is much more of a 1 Timothy 6 model where it says instruct those who are rich in this present world to be rich with good deeds, and a whole laundry list of things there. So as you engage this group, you're actually helping them in the discipleship process, helping them to understand, since God has gifted me, where may I invest my surplus funds? And they will want to invest with you and with your church plant. This is where you want to spend your time. You want to work building relationships, disciple these guys, these couples, these gals, and work very diligently. The profile of this higher capacity person is all over the place. I've seen a church planter I know of in the Mid-Atlantic area. Their largest investor is 35 years old and has a couple little kids. Stumbled onto a very profitable business, has a lot of money to give, loves church planting. You would never look at him as a high capacity giver. Sometimes those folks are older and have greater assets, their kids are out of college. You can't just lock them in to a particular perception of age or gender. But these folks have money to give. You're going to plant your church right here. The tendency is, in the typical church plant model, to spend your time here with this group, and you'll have fun, and you'll have people to give, but you're not going to get anywhere close for the 250. So here are the takeaways for today. Number one, understand that there is money out there. People do want to invest in church planting, particularly if you have a compelling vision and you can articulate what it is that God's called you to do. Some support materials, some video, resources that are very helpful, but it's your vision that calls today. People want to give. Number two, understand that there are different ways or different tribes that give money. and you want to work within the tribes that will give you the biggest return on your time investment so that you will get to where you want to be. And the third takeaway is this: you have to invest time as a leader in developing the generosity culture and developing the financial resources for your church plant. This is not a secondary objective. This has to be primary, a driver in your church plant. If you have resources for your church plant, financial resources, you will achieve your church plant in a much faster manner, in a much more effective manner, with the environments, with all the tools that you need. It is worth your time as a leader, as a church planter, to choose to be the chief resource officer for your church plant. Go for it. You can do this. The money is out there. Go for it, guys. You can do it.